Ryan, you figure out how to do all this stuff because you've left me here in your room with this damn poster that people have asked about in the comments from my last video. And I'm like, they're like, that's a great whatever that is you've got over your headboard. Where'd you get it? And I've got to say, I don't know. I'll have to ask Ryan when I get home. So without further ado, let's check out what BrewStew has got going on with their newest video. All right, everybody. We're going to watch a video. I know I've told a bunch of y'all that we were going to watch another Fat Electrician video, but here's the deal. This is one of the guys on YouTube that started making me watch YouTube pretty regular. He's funny as hell. Straight up warning, this is a cartoon, but it's an adult cartoon. This guy's Brewstewfilms, and the video that drew me into him was talking about airsoft guns a couple of years ago. And I've sent that out to a lot of my friends. I've sent it out to them on text. I've sent it out. I've posted it on Facebook. The airsoft, that is like the epic. Oh, he did everything right on that video that made me belly laugh when I watched it. This young man from Ohio has dropped another video tonight, and I'm going to watch this video and react to it. And I promise y'all, I'll have a Fat Electrician review coming up in maybe another week or half a week. I'll have another Fat Electrician video coming up because I know we messed up the first one. Apparently my editor cut some of Nick's commentary out. I have heard it from everybody in the comments. Heard, understood, acknowledged. That's not going to happen again on a reaction video. Y'all just want to watch the whole video and see my reactions. Gotcha. Not going to be an issue. So I'm sorry. I'm sitting in here doing this all by myself, and if it helps, I will give the Nick knife hand. Point out the emphatic part that none of Nick's stuff will be cut out in the future. We're going to watch this video, see how this turns out.
All right. So a few years ago, I had a little encounter with a fox that unfortunately had rabies. Now, I've contemplated on whether or not to tell this story in the first place, because I probably handled it in the worst way possible. But I figure at the very least, maybe this could be like some sort of a learning experience for all of you guys. You know, things to do, or rather things not to do, when confronted by a wild rabid animal. Now, this whole ordeal started on one early afternoon. I'm sitting in my living room working on a cartoon that, well, ironically, was about me getting rid of a bat that flew in the house with my giant pool net, when all of a sudden, one of our kids comes up to me.
Okay, I gotta stop this off the first point. I love that we're at Maury's wig shop and Henry Hill is trying to save Maury and getting him to pay up before Robert De Niro comes in and starts beating the crap out of him and knocks that toupee off of his head. Sorry, this guy's fourth wall breaks, or it might not be a fourth wall break because he's not talking to us straight. His references in these videos is just classic. Love it.
And they're like, hey, I think there's like a Wolverine outside on our pool cover. And at first I'm like, Wolverine? How do you even know what a Wolverine looks like in the first place? I don't even know what the hell a Wolverine looks like, for Christ's sake. So I go over the window, and instead of seeing this so-called Wolverine, I see a fox. And it's a very, very sick, deranged-looking fox. Now, it's worth mentioning that we have a bunch of woods behind our house. So seeing a fox is not very uncommon. In fact, sometimes we hear their asses out there all night long. And if
everybody needs to learn this about fox or foxes. I grew up here in South Mississippi, and we moved into where this area, it was fairly rural. Now there are houses everywhere, but guess what's still there? The fox, because the fox is very adaptable to the environment that they live in. So these people hear these fox and see fox running around, and they're worried about, oh, it's going to eat your dogs, it's going to eat your cat. No, the fox is not going to do that. The fox is going to try to stay away from you. A cat versus a cat will slap a fox away in a heartbeat.
If you've never heard what a fox sounds like,
Oh,
they don't really bark or howl or do any of those noises. Instead, they fucking scream like a woman being murdered. Yeah, that's what they sound like. The first time I heard that shit in the woods, I thought the fucking Blair Witch was out there murdering people left and right. But apparently, that's just the sound a fox makes. I sure as hell didn't remember that from the old See and Say toy that I had as a kid. The fox says, ah! So I'm looking at this.
That is a vixen, and she is raising Cain. A vixen is a female fox, by the way.
Fox, and I'm no veterinarian, but this thing clearly has rabies. It's tweaking out pretty severely. It's got the old cappuccino foam around its mouth and shit. That thing's either got rabies or somebody fucking buried it in the pet cemetery and it's come back to life to murder us all. Either way, it's a situation that now I have to deal with. Now, real quick, can anybody actually tell me what you're supposed to do in a situation like this? Well,
Call the Hub City Critter Getter. That's what I do. Or I used to do. Yeah, okay. Wildlife relocation. Yeah, I'm your huckleberry.
if you guessed, I don't know, don't go outside and confront a fucking rabid animal, you guessed correctly. So anyways, I go outside and confront this rabid animal, and I'm fairly confident I can handle this situation. I was a Cub Scout as a kid. I got the rabid animal merit badge or whatever the fuck. Well, apparently me handling the situation turns out to be me just yelling at it from a distance. Hey, quit it! Knock it off! Get out of here! Go fucking have rabies somewhere else, you asshole! And you know, that did not help at all. In fact, it just kind of pissed it off a little bit more. Now it's doing that murderous banshee scream shit directly at me. And to make matters worse, now our 120-pound Rottweiler can see this thing through the window, and he starts losing his shit. Oh boy, is that my new best friend out there? Oh man, I don't know if I want to lick it or if I want to fuck it first. So I get my wife on the phone, who's driving in her car at the time, and I'm just like, hey, there's a fucking zombie fox on our pool cover, and I believe it has a shit ton of rabies. A zombie fox with rabies? Well, what the hell are you calling me for? Go fucking shoot it with a rifle. Oh, all right then. That's a good idea. I'll call you back. Boop. So I go and grab my .22 caliber rifle that, thankfully, I bought just a few weeks prior. I head back outside, and I'm confident that I'm about to fucking Lee Harvey Oswald this rabid fox. But that's when it dawns on me that this fox is indeed standing on top of our pool cover. If I shoot and miss, well, I'm probably gonna fuck up our pool like 6 different ways this Sunday. So quickly, I change up the game plan. I call my wife back up, and I'm like,
Oh, okay, folks. When Hub City Critter Getter was a working business, hell, that was 15 years ago. But I'm in South Mississippi. Most rednecks would have said to hell with that pool and shot that fox. When I was in business, I used to go and people would say, hey, I need you to come get the snake out of my pool. I'd go catch the snake, put it in a bucket, get ready to relocate it. When I told them how much it cost to do this, they said, oh, wait, that's more than what I thought it was going to be. I don't want to pay that kind of money. I told them, no problem. I'll open this lid up, put that snake right back where I found it, and be on my way. And these folks would pay me then. Most folks down here handle their stuff on their own. Most of where I made my money was the folks in the upper reach, the upper reach neighborhoods that were doctors and lawyers and just take care of the problem.
Hey, I'm afraid I'm gonna fuck up the pool 6 ways to Sunday if I shoot at it. So instead, I'm just gonna charge at it with this hockey stick and hope for the best. What do you think? I think that fox is gonna fuck you up 6 ways to Sunday. That's what I think. Look, I'm just gonna call animal control and have them deal with it, okay? Now, this is what you're supposed to do in this situation. You're supposed to call animal control. Apparently, trying to fight a rabid animal with sports equipment's frowned upon. What the fuck ever. Now, I don't know if it's just our local animal control or what, but they were not very much help in this situation. Good afternoon, animal control. We have a zombie fox holding our pool hostage. Send back up with lots of ammo. What? You said it was a fox? We don't deal with any wild animals. We just deal with, like, stray cats and dogs. Now, this was pretty perplexing because, well, they're called animal control after all. Here we are with an animal that desperately needs to be controlled. You're not gonna come out and fucking help us? No, instead they give us a phone number to a man named Carl, who apparently, like, moonlights as, like, a rabid animal specialist, apparently. I don't know if this guy
That's
was
me!
just a redneck with a harpoon gun or some shit. But what I do know is that when we call this...
That's me. I'm Carl, but I'm not Carl. I'm Rob. Hub City Critter Getter was Rob back in the day.
His ass, he didn't answer his fucking phone, so we have no idea. All right, so we tried yelling at the fox, a rifle, a hockey stick, animal control, and then Carl the fucking bounty hunter, and yet here we are, still have a rabid fox on our pool cover. Well, eventually we get the local sheriff to show up to our house, and at first this guy was like as helpful as animal control was. Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to try to shoot at it? I mean, I guess you're a sheriff. You're probably a better shot than I am. Oh, boy, I don't even know if I'm allowed to shoot at the damn thing in the first place. So this guy literally pulls out his phone and calls up his boss, and he's like, hey, we got, like, this fox holding this guy's pool hostage. Am I allowed to shoot at it? He wants to know what happens if I accidentally shoot your pool. Well, that was what I was trying to avoid in the first place. Okay, yeah, he doesn't want us to shoot the pool. Uh-huh. All right, then, bye-bye. Boop. Yeah, he doesn't want me to shoot at it on account that I might fuck your pool up 6 different ways to Sunday. All right, so clearly we have to get this goddamn fox off of the pool before anything else can happen. Well, of course...
That's your government at work, folks.
Me, this sounds like a perfect job for my big-ass 12-foot-long pool net. Now, side note, I just want to say, I'm so goddamn grateful for this pool net. It has bailed my ass out multiple times when I've had wild animals on my property. If it was a person, I'd fucking have to buy it a beer, probably 12. All right, so now with the big pool net in hand, we come up with the final game plan. And that is the sheriff's gonna scoop up the fox, fling it into the yard, and that's where I'll be, sitting there like fucking SEAL Team 6, waiting to take care of business. So this guy approaches the fox with my giant, unwieldy pool net, and I don't know if this was like just another Thursday to the dude or what, but he nonchalantly scoops the fox up, and then he flings it into the yard like a goddamn lacrosse player. All right, time for my big moment. I raise up my rifle and I'm like, this is America, and we don't negotiate with terrorists. I squeeze off like half a dozen shots, and you bet your ass, every single one of them missed. It wasn't even close. I was like a fucking cartoon character shooting the silhouette around this goddamn fox. The sheriff's up there judging me hardcore. This guy was a fucking Cub Scout? My asshole he was. Look, in my defense, I didn't sight in the scope, all right? I told you guys I just got the damn rifle. Thankfully, the gunshots did scare the fox out back into the woods, and that completed our whole little saga of all this bullshit nightmare bullshit. All right, well, I guess that's settled. Holy hell, some Lee Harvey Oswald you are. God damn, your ass wouldn't even hit the fucking Lincoln Continental shooting like that. So I go back into my house, bewildered, wondering what the hell my life is these days. Meanwhile, our dog's staring at me like, oh, why'd you scare it away, you asshat? Now who's gonna be my best friend? Now you might be sitting there like, well,
Good looking Brody.
Was he okay? He just scampered off into the woods? Well, what were you expecting, a happy ending? All right, let's give it a happy ending, I guess. And so the fox scampered into the woods, it fully recovered from rabies, it got married and had lots of loud-ass fox babies, and it definitely didn't die a slow and very horrific death out in the woods. Anyways, the moral of the story is, don't approach a fucking animal that's got rabies. Stay inside, go call animal control, or at the very least, maybe a hillbilly with a harpoon gun. Maybe you're lucky and yours has like a fucking pager or something, and let the professionals deal with it, because rabies is a very shitty way to die. The end.
That's hilarious. Look, y'all, I appreciate y'all watching another Rob Reviews video. If you enjoy this kind of content, look over there, mash that like, mash that subscribe, and look forward to seeing some more of these, but also if you look back in my history, you'll see some of me actually messing with wildlife. Night.